Oh, hey, how are you? Look at this smile. This is genuine. This is a genuine smile to see for seeing such a beautiful, attractive face. So, when you have a moment, do send me a message. I want to know your secret because you are looking so wonderful, so dang good. Your skin looks so clear. Anyway, I'd like to tell you about a really cool concept that's got really bad, attached connotations to it, or really misunderstood connotations, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's the concept of high vibration and low vibration. I know! Sounds like hippy talk, flower child speak, hippy dippy BS, right? And I get you, I get it, because there's a lot of people out there in the world who believe that there are literal vibrations in the world, in the universe, in our cells, in our bodies, in that, we can't, science just hasn't got to the level of physics understanding yet, so that's why we can't find the frequencies and blah blah blah, or they're in the spiritual realm, so science will never be able to find it and all that. And that, you know what I mean, that to me is so intangible and pointless that I do not believe in any of that sort of stuff. But I do believe that it's a great describing phrase, right? So basically, to me, high vibration is a very encompassing term, very broad term, very grand scheme of things type of situation, okay? And at its very simplest, it means things that encourage moving forwards in whatever it is that you're doing, and growth. And growth intrinsically means, if it encourages growth, it encourages healing. I mean, if your cells didn't divide and multiply and grow, then if you had a cut or something, your that cut would never heal because the cells can't grow, etc., right? So growth equals healing. Growth also just means getting stronger in some form, way, shape, or form. So let's give you some examples. First of all, is an easy one. It's just what you consume. Consumption means not just food. So if you eat the correct foods that nourish your body, and avoid the foods that don't that damage your body, eating too much junk food, certainly eating any fast food restaurant, especially like the most popular fast food restaurants, that's not going to help you. It's going to give you a little bit of nutrients, but I tell you what, it's not going to really make you thrive. It's and it's going to cause other issues in your body that are going to prevent your body from functioning correct as well as it could if you just ate decent food in the first place. So if your body is nourished correctly with the right type of foods, then your brain's going to work better. If your brain works better, you're going to actually think more clearly. There's going to be less of that fog in your mind. If there's less of that fog in your mind, oh, you're an idiot. Pull in front of a truck. Good job, buddy, Mr. Commodore. Yeah, get out of the way. Anyway. If you've got less brain fog happening, then you're going to think more clearly, obviously. If you're thinking more clearly, it's a lot harder to be depressed and anxious and all that sort of stuff, because often those things are fictional fabrications of the mind, you know, those I'm not good enough, everything's going to shit, oh, blah, 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 right? If you're thinking clearly, you'll be like, oh, yes, well, there's things I can do about it, which I'll talk about a bit later. So there's also other things that you consume, your music, your media, your news, all that sort of thing. So that will affect the way your psychology works, because if you're constantly consuming stupid prank videos, then you're going to think being a dickhead and pranking people inappropriately is going to be like a really good thing because they do it and it's funny when I watch it, so it's going to be funny when other people experience my dickhead behavior. And I mean, some reality TV shows, you know, which is all about judging and about saying mean things. It makes your brain go, oh, that's just the way the world is, so I'm going to live up to that standard and judge other people and be paranoid that other people are judging me and all this sort of stuff. It's programming your brain. In the same way, if you were watching videos on how to grow your mind, how to gain new hobbies and skills and stuff like that, then your brain is going to start be gearing towards that. If you do things that encourage you to appreciate just the world around you, the incredible buildings that mankind have created, nature, all this sort of stuff, just being able to marvel at it. Despite there being horrible things in the world, there are great, awesome, beautiful things to also look forward to. And that'll train your mind to be like that as default setting, to just look for those things, versus the low vibration, have you seen the news today, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that stuff's important, but it doesn't move you forwards. It doesn't help you grow emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially, creatively, whatever, you know what I mean? Generally speaking. There's also distractions. Oh my gosh, distractions are such a low vibration behavior, being distracted, because usually it means that your brain it's not functioning correctly, and as a result, any little stimuli that pops into the corner of your vision, you're pulled to it like a magnet, right? Instead of your brain functioning like a highly tuned machine that says, this is what we're doing. And maybe noticing that thing in the corner of your eye and going, that's cool, and continue doing whatever it is that you're doing, right? That's that. Now sometimes it's useful, so it goes without saying, like all my videos, it's situational, context-based, blah, blah, blah. Daydreaming can be really helpful, but if you're trying to achieve something, daydreaming isn't moving you forwards, you know what I mean? If you're doing nothing in the first place, then yeah, daydreaming might move you forwards creatively or something, right? But daydreaming, procrastination doesn't move you forwards in the goals that you're trying to achieve. Not giving value to the things that you're trying to achieve. Sometimes people go, oh, it's not really that important, that's why I'm not getting it done right now. That's a stupid way of thinking. If it's important, then do it. If it's not important, don't do it at all. You know what I mean? Like, that's making excuses for things. Excuses, justifications for not achieving your goals. These are all low vibration activities, right? Or behaviors, or thought processes, or whatever you want to call it, right? There's also a higher vibration way of thinking or behavior or thought process or whatever it is that you want to call it, would be to be solutions focused rather than problem focused. Be problem solving rather than problem seeking, trying to looking for justifications as to why you're lazy or why you're this way or that way, looking for solutions and giving them a try, and being open instead of closed to all things, whether they be new ideas that can help you out, or just being open to the people that matter to you rather than closed off, shy, insecure. These are low vibration words. Confident, creative, trusting, loving, realistic. These are high vibration things. Having high level of awareness. If you have high level of awareness, then you have, the door is now open for you to be able to understand the world, which leads me back to communication. Now, the purpose of anyone listening in any situation, you're listening right now to me talking, rambling on, right? The purpose of you listening is so that you can understand me. That's it. I mean, a low vibration thing might be because I have to reply to them or seem bigger than they are, or more important, or this or that or the other. Yeah, okay, that's that. That's low vibration thinking though. That's not high vibration stuff. So what can distract people from thinking in that way? To think in a way that goes, all right, well, how do I understand them better? You know, one is to focus on understanding them as opposed to correcting them. People who here's the thing, I know lots of people who understand what I'm saying, but they interrupt me with corrections. Guess what that does? Guess what that interruption does? You already understand what I'm saying, so you don't need to correct me, but guess what that understanding means? It means that we are not moving forwards in the conversation, right? It also means that you, as the listener, you're focusing on things that are not what I'm saying. You're focusing on incorrect stuff rather than focusing on trying to understand what I have to say, right? That is low vibration because we're not moving forwards together. Another thing is not taking context into account. The beauty of context is that it's an individual thing. Not only it's individual to the person you're talking to, and it's individual to the history that you and them have. It's individual to the context of the actual conversation itself. You know, some things are offensive when they're said in this context and not offensive when they're said in that context. They're offensive when a stranger just blurts it out randomly without any prior conversation. But when you understand where the person is coming from, which is the whole point of trying, which is basically a way of another way of saying understanding them, then yes, you're going to you get the thing, like, you're not going to say, oh, that's offensive. Oh, well, my friend said, then, you know what I mean? You're thinking, what does this specific person mean when they say this, right? That's your high vibration stuff. And the more that you understand yourself and the world and the people and the physics and the this and the that and the psychology and all these sorts of things of the world around you and the people around you and the technology around you, the more you understand, the less anxiety, fear, and paranoia you have in your system. Anxiety, fear, and paranoia are not high vibration things, right? Not at any way, shape, or form. Now, again, understand these things are not good or bad, and they're things that everybody experiences. If you didn't get enough sleep, then you didn't consume enough sleep, then you're going to be in a low vibration state because you can't think properly. If your brain's not working correctly, then you're going to misinterpret things, you're going to forget stuff, you're going to, you're going to miss stuff, your awareness level's going to go down through the toilet, right? Now, I think you guys understand that. I think I've given enough examples. One thing helps you move forwards in what you're trying to achieve, and it also helps you grow and therefore heal. Trauma, if you can grow from your trauma, automatically you will be healed. to some capacity. You may not be 100% healed if you haven't 100% grown from it, but you have grown in some way, shape, or form. Okay, guys? So understand that. Now, why is all of this important? Well, the mind likes to stay where it is. It doesn't, the human body and the human mind likes to conserve as much energy as possible. You have to exercise to grow muscles, because otherwise your muscles will just wither away. Your body will consume your muscles if you don't use them, and use them as energy so that it can, it can be lazy. It doesn't have to extract it out of the food and break it down and all that sort of crap if it can just pull it out of your arm muscle or something, you know what I mean? And your mind is no different. So learning, that's why if you don't do practice, stuff will wither away inside your mind and go away. So with that being said, do you understand that it wants to stay in whatever state that it currently is? And your state resets every day, or I believe it's probably affected by everything from your life situation to your sleep, to your dreams, to your food, to your, as I said, it's all encompassing. This concept of high vibration and low vibration is all encompassing. Every single thing affects it. But anyway, it wants to keep you in whatever state you're in. And if you're in a low vibration state, you're feeling grumpy, depressed, tired, lazy, then if your friend comes along and suggests something that might pull you out of that, it's like, I can't be bothered. Or how about we just watch TV instead, right? Or whatever that may be, right? So if you're in a high vibration state, remember they're just phrases that are describing what I've just described. It's nothing technical beyond that. It's not spirituality words or hippy dippy language or whatever. It's just describing. If you're feeling in a high vibration mood, you're feeling energetic, you're in a good mood, you woke up on the right side of the bed, you feel like accomplishing a whole bunch of stuff, your brain is on point, it's functioning correctly, you got enough sleep, you've eaten the right foods, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. Guess what? You're going to be more, if you're thrown into a social situation, you're going to do a lot better than if you were thrown into a situation in your lower, depressed, tired, anxious, paranoid state. If you're thrown into a situation where you have to be productive, when you're in a high vibration state, you're feeling energetic, you woke up on the good right side of the bed, blah, 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 then guess what? You're going to get more done. If you're out doing creative stuff, right, and your plan is to do something creative, and you're in an energetic, positive mood, blah, 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 then yes, you're going to move forwards with that creativity. That creativity is going to grow inside you, and you're going to accomplish so much positive stuff. When you finish doing that, you'll feel good about all the stuff that you've accomplished, which will just boost your state further and further. Again, the opposite is still true as well. If you're feeling in a low mood, you're going to stay low. Your brain is going to be reluctant to change. It's like a flywheel. It's like a heavy vehicle that you've got to really slam on the brakes to change direction. You know what I'm saying? Like to change anything in that thing that has so much inertia. Your feelings and your state have inertia to them. So, and they here's the thing though, they attract. This is the key point. They attract things that are in alignment with your state, right? So your high vibration environmental factors, having decent people around you, eating the right types of foods, consuming the right type of media on a regular basis, because of course you can watch it every now and then, because it's an overall thing. It's not just a one-off thing. It's a grand scheme of things situation. It's not a myopic, zoomed in, microscopic thing. In me, it's what am I going to experience right at this second or in the next couple of minutes. It's what am I going to experience in the grand scheme of things in years to come if I continue down this path, and how is that going to affect everyone around me? How is that going to affect my career? How is it going to affect everything instead of what am I going to get out of it right now? You know what I mean? That's low, dense, vibrational energy, right? So take an audit on yourself, on your life, on your mind, on your experiences, on all of these different things, and have a think about what are things that are high vibration and what are things that are low vibration in your life. Anyway, sorry, I was going to say, it's not just those external factors, it's also your internal things, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about people, the way you think about minorities, how you think about the general public, how you think about society, how you think what is a girlfriend meant to do, what's a woman meant to be like, what's a man meant to be like, rigid, solid, unchanging, high vibration, fluid, adapting, right? The internal mind, those monologues that you play in your head, these things affect your external thing because your brain is dying for things to reinforce its current state. So anyway, do that audit on yourself. Figure out what things are high vibration energy and what are low vibration energy things. What is things that move you forwards in whatever aspect you can possibly think of, move you forwards in a positive way, and what are negative ways. And finally, I'm going to discuss how, from there you can figure out what things you need to cut out of your life, what do you need more of, etc., and so on, and really work on that, because success, you will attract success if you're sitting at a high vibration thing, which leads me to the last point. There's lots of things in the world, there's lots of fun hippy dippy BS out there saying if I just think positive thoughts, then I'll attract positivity into my life. I'll attract the things I need and want and love. That's a load of BS in a way, because if you're focusing on creating a high vibration life, then you are naturally going to think positively, because high vibration people are focusing on solutions. If they don't have what they want, they'll figure out how to get what they want, right? And because they're thinking about how to get what they want, and they're making plans and they're executing, which executing things is a super high vibration thing. Low vibration people are losers who sit at home and don't get anything done but they know how, and they talk about it all the time. Let me tell you, when this happens and this happens and this happens, I'll be able to do this, that, and the other. When, I'll be happy when, I'll be rich when, I'll just have to do this one last thing, and then I'll blah blah blah. But they never execute. They never actually do what they're saying. So you can see how books like The Secret are kind of true, but it's got it the wrong way around. By being this type of person who's focused on execution, on raising your level of awareness by doing this and doing that and doing the other, then you're going to appear like the person in the book, right? In the positive thinking person. You know what I mean? But it's not a positive thinking is the side effect of living a high vibration lifestyle and having a high vibration mind and consuming high vibration stuff, right? That's the reality. It's not the other way around. So, thinking negative thoughts Well, they're probably a side effect of not having your entire environment, including your internal environment, in a high vibration state, right? So, with that being said, hopefully you can understand what all of this sort of stuff means and what I mean by all that. And how if you can take an audit of your life, right? And look at the people in your life, look at the foods you're consuming, look at what is important to you and what is not important to you. And don't just do this intellectually, because one way to see what's important to you and what's not important to you is your behavior, because you might think that you're doing everything right. You might think that you're doing everything. You go to the gym all the time. You know, you eat salads and vegetables and stuff, yet you eat butt tons of sugar in your coffee. You have donuts. You have deep fried stuff on the rig. You know, you eat low quality food like McDonald's and Hungry Jack's and KFC and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? You're not. That's evidence that getting fit, as an example, is not important to you. It's not as important to you as you think it is. You think it's important, but it's not, because your behavior is reflecting that. These audits are really hard to do. And what will happen, what you'll find, is your brain will justify it. I go to the gym so I can eat KFC. You know what I mean? No, that means that being fit is not a priority to you. Just functioning is priority to you. Doing enough exercise so that you can function reasonably well, rather than functioning at your absolute peak performance, right? So there's so much to unpack with this particular topic, and I know people don't make it to the end anyway. So the last version of this video was 40 minutes, and I mean, that's 10 minutes longer than this one, but I know no one would ever finish watching something like that. So anyway, that's that. Have a think about it. Let me know what you guys think about it, about all that sort of stuff. And I will get back to you with another video. And do get back to me about those beauty techniques, because they are definitely working for you. Have a great day.